Week 2 NFL picks straight up: Falcons edge Packers, Chiefs outscore Eagles. Some early intriguing inter-conference matchups spice up the second week of the NFL season. One of them gets a choice doubleheader slot, Dallas at Denver. Three others battle it out in the early window: surprisingly explosive Minnesota at Pittsburgh, Philadelphia at Kansas City for the equally explosive Chiefs, and a pair of teams that few thought would both lose their openers, New England at New Orleans. Speaking of surprises, hello, already important AFC South face-off. Yes, that's Tennessee at Jacksonville. If nothing else, the question of whether the Jaguars' defense is really that good, or whether the Texans' offense is that bad. And two teams get their delayed season openers: the storm-postponed Dolphins and Buccaneers. There's more than enough mystery to go around already around the league, but these teams are blank slates. Welcome. More Week 2 NFL picks against the spread. Week 2 NFL picks. Predictions: all-time Z. Houston Texans 0-1 at Cincinnati Bengals 0-1, Thursday, 8:30 p.m., NBC. Thursday night schedule immediately reverted to its natural state: lousy. Unless, that is, Deshaun Watson gets the call in his second NFL game and makes his presence felt. If he merely avoids leaving his defense with its backs to the wall with sacks and turnovers, he will have succeeded. On the other side, Andy Dalton excelled in sacks and turnovers against Baltimore, and clearly he gets no break. Texans, 2,313 Philadelphia Eagles 10 at Kansas City Chiefs 10, Sunday, 1 p.m. Fox. It's the Andy Reid reunion, with the longtime Eagles coach facing his old team for the second time, with the Chiefs. Kansas City won 2,616 in 2013. If Carson Wentz and the Eagles' offense looks the way it did at times against Washington last week, they'll test the Eric Berry-less Chiefs' defense early and often. On the other side, the Eagles' pass rush needs to do as well against Alex Smith as it did against Kirk Cousins. A shootout is possible. Chiefs, 3,427 Minnesota Vikings 10 at Pittsburgh Steelers 10, Sunday, 1 p.m. Fox. Le'Veon Bell should be more in a groove than he was against the Browns coming off of his camp-long holdout. Had better be against a Vikings defense that took every trace of the Saints' running game out of their game plan Monday. Major upgrade of opponent for the Steelers this week. Not exactly a statement game, but one that will look good following a routine clubbing of the Browns. Steelers, 2,926 New England Patriots 0-1 at New Orleans Saints 0-1, Sunday, 1 p.m. CBS. It feels too easy to assume the Patriots will just flip a switch and take their rage from last week out on the Saints. Their defense has to prove it's capable of doing that. Tom Brady will have a field day, but the Patriots' defense may have caught a break with the inconsistencies the Saints' offense showed against the Vikings. Vengeance is not guaranteed, but it's likely. Patriots, 3,826 Chicago Bears 0-1 at Tampa Bay Buccaneers 0-0, Sunday, 1 p.m. Fox. Bears opener still feels more like a game the Falcons almost lost than like a game Chicago almost won. Jameis Winston should pick the Bears apart, but Matt Ryan should have too. Is Mike Glennon the type to want to show off against his former team, and if he is he even capable of doing it? We shall see. Buccaneers, 2,716 Buffalo Bills 10 at Carolina Panthers 10, Sunday, 1 p.m. CBS. It's a homecoming for a chunk of the Bills' brain trust, coach Sean McDermott and general manager Brandon Beane, formerly of the Carolina organization. Both have to worry about whether Cam Newton worked all the kinks out in his opener in San Francisco. LeSean McCoy should run wild through Carolina's defense the way he did against the Jets, but the Panthers' defense took all season to gel last year. Panthers, 2,414 Tennessee Titans 0-1 at Jacksonville Jaguars 10, Sunday, 1 p.m. CBS. Jaguars' smothering of the Texans' offensive line and quarterback 10 sacks kept them from having to count much on Blake Bortles. They need to see how long they can get away with that, especially with Allen Robinson suddenly removed from his list of weapons. Leonard Fournette likely saw what 31-year-old Marshawn Lynch did to the Titans' defense, and he should act accordingly. Jaguars, 2,320 Arizona Cardinals 0-1 at Indianapolis Colts 0-1, Sunday, 1 p.m. Fox. The Cardinals need this breather already. They lost David Johnson for most of the season, they got the bad Carson Palmer last week in Detroit, and their early pick six against Matthew Stafford didn't hold up. Regroup, refocus and beat a crater into a Colts team that will start either Scott Tolzien or Jacoby Brissett, as if it matters which. Cardinals, 2,910 Week 2 Fantasy Rankings QBRBWRTDST Cleveland Browns 0-1 at Baltimore Ravens 10, Sunday, 1 p.m. CBS IT Should NT matter if the Ravens aren't quite the dominators they looked like against the Bengals, because now, they get the Browns, who had their moments against the Steelers but are still digging their way out. Among their moments, though, was pressuring the quarterback, and Joe Flacco had a mild scare concerning his back. Handling Deshaun Kaiser will give the defense another confidence boost. Ravens, 2,617 Miami Dolphins 0-0 at Los Angeles Chargers 0-1, Sunday, 4:05 p.m. CBS. Besides being one of two games featuring teams with late starts to their season, this is one of two home stadiums officially debuting. This one is the Chargers' cozy StubHub Center. Also new in this game, Dolphins starter Jay Cutler. He'll at least be as much of a challenge to the Chargers' defense as Trevor Siemian was, for what that's worth. Chargers, 2,519 New York Jets 0-1 at Oakland Raiders 10, Sunday, 4:05 p.m. CBS. The Jets were who you thought they were, and on this early West Coast trip, expect them to be even more of that. The Raiders' win over the Titans unmasked a few issues the Raiders will have to address before long, especially on defense. But that won't be a problem this week, or it should NT, unless they take the Jets lightly, which they should NT. Raiders, 3,717 Dallas Cowboys 10 at Denver Broncos 10, Sunday, 4:25 p.m. Fox. Broncos offense will give the Cowboys defense more of a test than the Giants' Odolphy unit did last week, even if Trevor Siemian doesn't repeat that Michael Vick imitation he did against the Chargers. The Broncos' defense sprung some untimely leaks in that game, though, which should make Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott and co. grin. No reason to think Dak can march them away Philip Rivers did on that defense if necessary. Cowboys, 2,320 Washington Redskins 0-1 at Los Angeles Rams 10, Sunday, 4:25 p.m. Fox. It's not too early to say Washington misses its old defensive coordinator, Sean McVay, now coaching the Rams. It's also not crazy to believe Aaron Donald could step right in off of his holdout and smother McCoy's old unit. Kirk Cousins and his offense are better than Scott Holtzian's bunch, but the Rams could, and should, be licking their chops. Rams, 2,717 San Francisco 49ers 0-1 at Seattle Seahawks 0-1, Sunday, 4:25 p.m. Fox. 49ers aren't ready for this, but to be fair, they're not supposed to be yet. That was one raw, rebuilding bunch that opened against the Panthers. They scored 3 against Carolina, and they might score -3 against the Seahawks defense, which has nothing to apologize for after falling to Aaron Rodgers last week and shutting them out for a half. Seahawks, 3,310 Green Bay Packers 10 at Atlanta Falcons 10, Sunday, 8:30 p.m. NBC. The Falcons made Aaron Rodgers not look like himself in the NFC title game, the biggest surprise from that eventual rout. Don't be so sure they can replicate that, though, and don't be so sure the Packers' defense will get steamrolled the way they did then, either. The new stadium in Atlanta shares billing with both Super Bowl contenders on this night. Falcons, 2,826 Detroit Lions 10 at New York Giants 0-1, Monday, 8:30 p.m. ESPN. Those who take Odell Beckham Jr. for granted, and who obsess on his hair, touchdown celebrations and boat trips, got a harsh wake-up call Sunday night when the Giants looked inept without him. If he is back for this, even at full strength, he might not be able to mask all the flaws exposed by the Cowboys. The Lions are going to keep sneaking up on people until they realize they're not a fluke or an accident. Lions, 2,916 MORE Week 2 NFL Power Rankings. Last week's record 96.